of
Okay,
light.
back.
Hello.
We have been corralled through the streets. Got it.
As the guards formed up around you, you approach a different side of the palace and are marched up through the gardens on the front entrance. At this stage, 8 of the guard dismount and walk either side of you, along with the sergeant and the captain of the Lions Guard.
Would that be Captain Farzan?
Captain Farzan,
Sorry,
captain of the Lion Guard, yes.
I wrote it down.
I would like to lifting the halberd out of the back of the cart, but cast minor illusion kind of around it so that it looks like maybe not like a rolled up cloak, but like a rolled up tapestry or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lovely painting for you, Lord Pasha.
Well, this is something
Lovely
that I
tapestry.
think the Still Pasha will want to see.
Yeah.
Okay, you notice the Major Domo standing in the darkness behind, or in the shade behind several servants that are at the entrance,
This
and
the
several
seneschal
more
who we met.
guards. Yeah.
Yeah.
He disappears back out of sight when he sees Farzan, and you are all led in to the main entrance chamber, which is shaded. It's open air, but it's got silks hanging on big kind of rafters that span the open section to keep the heat of the midday sun off. And beneath is an indoor garden, lots of potted plants, ivies and wall creeping flowers that spiral up the pillars that suspend this vast structure. And in the center is a huge circular fountain, ornately engraved, and is currently spurting a bit of water out. The card take you around this and directly into a large columned chamber, hundreds of feet long. These huge marble columns either side, and at the far end, on raised steps on a throne, is the Silk Pasha. Behind him, a huge span of circular or a huge kind of glut of circular windows that look to be in some sort of celestial pattern, each with different scenes of the history of Calimport cast in them. The multicolored light spills down across the white marbled floor, and as you walk across it, Captain Farzan takes lead and then stops about 50 feet from the throne itself, maybe 10 or so feet from the base of the stairs, and drops to one knee and says, "The prisoner is Sil Pasha." At this point, you can see the or the seneschal come out from one side, and from the other side, you can see what you assume to be the vizier. Jed, you know this man to be named Naskal.
Nazca.
He has, yes, he's a manipulative. He basically orchestrates all. Well, from what you understand, anyway, is he's really good at orchestrating all the 80 whatever Pasha into their own place or into a position where they're working against each other and not getting into these large groups to put more pressure on the Sil Pasha. He's got the sobriquet of the Repairer of Reputations, which is kind of a facetious moniker for him.
Yeah.
And
Sensible man, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, he's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that the seneschal?
Just on the other side of the street.
That's the vizier.
The vizier, just being a term for, doesn't necessarily mean magical. It just means advisor. But this dude is magical.
Yeah.
Before we've actually been walked into that, can I have casted a spell on Jed? Like a long time before. Sorry, I didn't want to break your train of talk. I wanted to cast Enhance Ability and give Jed Eagle's Splendor advantage on charisma checks for 1 hour.
So it's me doing it. I cast it on Sam. No, I'm kidding. I'm saving my slot.
My charisma could be a lot better, so thank you for that. I'm glad to have it.
Well, you're the weakest and the one that's probably going to talk.
I do tend to talk.
Yeah.
That could be an in-character conversation.
Yes. You do talk.
Yeah, sure. I would like to try and catch Nascal's eye as he comes out.
Yeah. He's scanning you all.
Yeah. Does he? Have I met him? Does he recognize me at all?
Give us an insight roll.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is +7.
Nice.
Yes, I.
Yeah, you can tell as he
answered.
casts his eyes over you in particular
Mhm.
that no, you haven't met him. He hasn't met you, but you can tell by just the way he kept his eyes like focused that he is aware of you.
The repairer of reputations, so they call him. Be guarded, fellas. Do not tarry in our objective.
The Silpasha stands.
Your Eminence.
He is a fairly chunky, large, bloated man, standing a good 6 feet tall, taller than most folk around here. He's shaved head and a long black beard. He's dressed in ornate silks of white and gold, and he comes towards you, takes a step or two down the steps towards you, and then sits. He twists his beard away from his mouth. He looks back at the vizier and again back at you. I have been advised by the monks of the Order of the Line that something was taken from us. And he looks around at he puts his hands to his chest, but I'm saying us, but he also looks around at the guards around the area, which there are, many.
I'll look up and down. I assume the four of us are kind of stood in a line, or
Yes, and you're kind of being flanked, so to speak, with the captain standing off to one side a bit, by 7 other guards. The sergeant and 6 other men are kind of behind you in a rough semicircle, all along the columns, and probably in the darkness behind the columns there is more guards. Again, you probably take any one of them, no problem, but there's just a lot of them here.
Many. Yeah, no, sir.
I've also been advised that you and you, he says, glaring at the Pasha, were 3 days' ride north or west when my friend the vizier here cast his magics to find the item that was stolen. And it just so happened that his magics pointed in the same direction. Now, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that the Green Road hasn't been used for generations. It's not used much for trade, unless I'm mistaken, Pasha. No, Your Honor, Your Excellency. And I think we can explain, although our methods might have been a little underhanded, our deeds should more than make up for this. And he'll kind of glance over towards Doc.
Yeah. I will take the what looks like a bundled tapestry out from under my arm. And is there a table or something I can approach?
No. What you've got is probably 20 feet of beautiful white marble, and then leading into the floor, which is patterned white marble. And you're kind of, you're at the base of those steps. So what you could do is lay it out on the floor.
Yeah, I think that's
or
what
something
I'll do.
like that. Or you could keep
Is what I will do is I will take a couple of steps forward, maybe enough steps forward so that it couldn't be easily reached from our line if I lay the thing across. Lay the thing on the ground, take a few steps back, and then withdraw my hand so that it looks like the illusory kind of tapestry is unraveling around it.
Okay. So as you unroll the tapestry and as it vanishes with the magic and the spell being cast back into the weave, there's the small dunk as the head of the glaive rolls off the tapestry and onto the ground.
Yeah, but gently, like, so it's not.
Oh yeah,
getting
yeah. No,
damaged.
it's not
I'd
like
put it
It's
down
not going to
gently.
scratch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't getting scratched anyway. So.
And I'm looking, yeah, but also not the floor, you know. And I'm treating the thing with deference. And I will keep my glare kind of. I will keep my look fixed on the Silpasha and see how he reacts to that. And if I feel like there's an opportunity for me to speak, then I will.
Give us an insight check.
Sure. Yeah. I did much too well on the last one, so
yeah.
I'm sure this will go very well. Again, +7, so
20.
yeah, fine.
It does.
Okay.
Lots.
Yeah.
He seems quite taken aback. He wasn't expecting this outcome.
Yeah.
As you just briefly glance around, though, you can see that the line guard, especially Captain Farzan, you can see his knuckles whiten around his glaive.
Yeah.
Now he's still heads down, knee on the ground, but you saw his head kind of flick over, and that's what caught your eye. And maybe you can just hear an almost imperceptible shuffle from a few of the guards.
Yeah.
They were very put out by this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's fine. If I might speak, Silpasha, to
You may
not assuage, but perhaps explain my actions and that of my cohort here. My
just gestures to carry on there.
impression is that the Lion Guard are themselves holy warriors, nobly given, and given by a supreme mandate of the court, the crown, the city of Kalimport, to the hunting of the unholy, the evils, the dark things in the desert and within the city, perhaps.
At this point, the vizier will start to walk down the steps very slowly, nearly in time with your words.
Mm-hmm. My actions, noble Silpasha, great, honourable Silpasha of Kalimport, were motivated solely by my respect for the city, for the Golden Lion's quest, and a desire to do the work that this here holy item, relic, masterpiece of martial craft was built to do. Indeed, we are here, and make no mistake, for the warden of Torn beside me as my witness, as a guardian of truth himself, many times.
I will nod.
It was the hunting of evil, of a foul thing out in the desert, that motivated us. And expediency, and a need to act upon impetus that quickened our hand. If perhaps not innocence, perhaps not acquittal we should find, I might at least plead that you do not take this slight personally, sir.
He kind of leans back, an elbow on a step behind, and he seems to be contemplating this as the vizier's hands come out from his long sleeved or long cuffed sleeves, and you can see his hands, his fingers kind of dance across the air and pluck the weave as he casts dispel magic on the object itself, the glaive on the ground. If your tapestry was still there, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Or well, I mean, unless I roll shit.
No, yeah, I was happy to dispel it. It's a cantrip for one thing, so you don't.
Oh yeah, grand.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the other thing you can see him casting is, and because you're so well versed in the, in this school of divination, you can see him cast what you know as Detect Thoughts, and he's casting it on you.
Okay.
And this is the second spell he casts. So this is over, like, he's walking down 30 steps at a very slow pace. It's like, so as you were kind of monologuing.
That is one that I'm watching him do that.
Yes, and he's casting it on you.
Now, give me 2 seconds. Do I get a save against that?
Yeah, I
He
just
rolled
rolled before reading it, so hang on.
Yeah. I think that's I get a
Cast spell
save.
is your action. You can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet. Blah, blah, blah. You initially learn this.
I have that spell.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Wisdom save.
No, so you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on their mind in that moment, and as an action, you can either shift your attention, blah, blah, blah. If you probe deeper, and you must make a wisdom saving throw. So he gets your surface thoughts of what you're genuinely trying to do here, and he believes them. However, he is also going to probe into the crime itself, and possibly your state of mind while the crime was being done.
Can I do 2 things?
Yes.
One is make that wisdom save. 2 is try to cast the spell myself.
Okay, well, this is a verbal and somatic spell, which means he would know you're casting it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to switch my attention to him. So I'm looking away from the Pasha. I'm looking the guy dead in the eye, and I'm going to
make your wisdom saving throw first.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you bring up your mind barriers.
Yeah, so wisdom save for me is +7.
And I think you'd be looking for like a 16 or something.
19.
Okay. You pass. So you can feel him prying on your mind, and you have enough training in this field to block him out.
So I'm blocking him out, and I'm also kind of directing my surface level thoughts so he knows exactly the kind of I'm almost going to picture a chessboard. And that's what I want him to be picking up then. He's obviously like I'm being honest, and then the surface level thought gets replaced with with just this kind of almost meditative image of a chessboard with the pawns starting to move out.
Okay, you can see him just crack a smile off one corner of his mouth as he bends to pick up the glaive.
What do I get on his detect thoughts?
I'm going to have to say you're going to have to hide this, because if other people see you, now maybe not him, but if other people see you cast magic around the Silpasha, I think it would, and I think you would know, it would have possibly have a bad reaction.
Yeah, we all different heads.
Yeah, that might be
in which case probably my insight's been good enough to realize that that's probably a bad idea. Okay.
And you know for a fact that he didn't get anything more than what you were saying anyway, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, but he believes.
Okay, cool. So he bends to pick it up, and you can see him raise it from the ground and then realize, holy fuck, this is way heavier than I thought. And he kind of takes a half step and repositions his back and then lifts it. And you can see maybe another shuffle from the guards behind.
Yeah.
Or hear another shuffle from the guards behind. And he brings it up slowly and lays it on the feet, towards the feet of the Silpasha, as the Silpasha says, "Well spoken, Mr. Gairan. Well spoken indeed. You are right that the vanquishing of such a foe as Pasha Rulaman has informed my seneschal is and was a necessity, and the state, the crown, thanks you for the life and limb you risked to vanquish this foe, if indeed she is vanquished."
He knows about her.
I'm gonna bring up bring to surface the memory of the heart being cut out and stabbed through.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to not give away where it is. So that the vizier is in no doubt as to what we've
I'm happy
done
enough
in
with
terms
that
of
because you've made
her, but
great
Yeah.
rolls on all these last few rolls
Yeah.
of deception. So as the vizier like lays the thing, he walks past the pasha and he puts a hand on his shoulder, chubby shoulder, and he kind of leans down and whispers something in his ear. And he walks back towards the throne. But I think you said it right when you stated no matter what the intention and what the necessity demanded, you admitted a crime was committed against not so much myself, but my loyal men-at-arms, my loyal guard, the guard of Calimport, the great warriors and heroes who have protected the Sil Pashas for 1,000 years. You've slighted them, their order, their traditions, their ways, and their heroes of old. Recompense must be made.
A debt, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm going to bring myself forward and say, how can we serve to wrong the slight of this great holy order? I'm sure it was not the intention of my compadres to insult them in such a way, and if I had known of their actions, perhaps the course might have been different. We lay ourselves down. How to help? How can we help?
Tell me, Mr. Gyron, who participated in the taking of the weapon, of the artifact?
I believe. Yeah. I mean, if Rudy's going to step up,
I will.
then,
I will step up for that. So,
okay,
my lord,
yeah.
I did indeed take a part. I deceived your guards in order that we could obtain the relic, and for this, I feel a great guilt and sorrow that I have wronged you and your men. Something like that.
Yeah. The others before you, Your Excellence, sir, should share no portion of the blame, least of all the Pasha Rula Manir, who did what he could to abet our efforts to prepare in other ways for the trial we faced, but was kept utterly unaware of the
He raises his
artifact's
hand
presence.
at this point. I'm aware of Pasha Rulaman's reasons and efforts and aid he has rendered to the city through the lives of his men and the debt on his purse, and indeed his friendship by you. However, the lives of the two guards that stand forfeit, the two lines guard that stand forfeit, must be repaid.
We didn't kill them, did we?
No. But they will be killed for letting us steal it, is what he's saying.
They've already been killed.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm not going to say anything on that.
Doc Gyron.
Yeah.
And Mr. Achea. Yeah.
Is that how he pronounces it?
No, he'll be able to pronounce it because somebody more intelligent will have told him Gav can't say it.
It's Achaka. I literally just
Rudy Achaka.
I when I was making the character, I just mashed the keyboard and it spelled out Achaka.
That's what.
So that's
out.
Now his
Cool.
name. Yeah, literally.
Because you have done a great service for the people of this city, you will be given leniency. You can spend the remainder of your days in the dungeon, or you can join the line guard.
Ooh.
And Farzan will quickly, you'll hear the clank of his glaive drop to the ground as he rises to his feet without a weapon in his hand. The other line guard behind him stand back. Sil Pasha, I beg you, please. And he'll approach the steps and drop to his knees again. And this is too good for them. We lost 2 good men. he will once more kind of raise his hand and say, "Quiet."
I'm going to think the words loud enough that I know the vizier is going to hear it. I'm going to think the words "not good enough to stop two common thieves," but I'm not going to say that out loud. I want to make that clear.
Hmm.
He'll actually send you something back.
Yeah.
You can see him toy with a little length of copper wire around
Yeah.
one of his fingers as you're treading on thin ice. Doc. Common. I wouldn't say so. You would do well to keep your mouth shut and set yourself into the dungeons as soon as possible. You won't remain there long.
Very well.
When
What,
he
he's gonna
says
kill
that,
us?
I mean, is he implying
Or join the
something?
Holy Order.
Yeah.
If you're so foolish.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm inclined to
What
say
is-
that we're not worthy.
Well, one of you
Very,
definitely isn't.
very well. Guards, take them away.
Okay.
Thank you, Sulpasha. Guard Farzan says, clasping his hands above his head and bowing several times as he kind of crawls away, raises his thing and turns to his sergeant. Sergeant, these two men to the dungeons immediately. The 6 or so guards that were there with them will escort the sergeant, Doc, and Rudy off down a series of corridors and leading rooms deeper and deeper into the sub-basements of the palace until the stone goes from that polished richness of the nobility down to a more earthly, darker color, and eventually all you can hear is all you can smell is the damp, the spitting of tallow wax candles, and you're down in unfamiliar dungeons.
before I'm led from the room, I will make sure that I look and nod at Jurgen, just so to kind of and with a kind of gentle smile on my face, like, yeah, it's all right, don't worry.
Yeah.
You know, to try and reassure Jurgen in particular.
And I'll just say, thank you for your mercy, my lord.
The rest of you are thanked, free to go, but no, we will be watching you. But I assume I don't have to tell you that. Any further transgressions will be met with the proper authority. He will lean back half over his shoulder. Seneschal, reimburse the Pasha and that priest of Torm for their mercenary work.
Before
Grant
he,
these men. Go on, yeah.
yeah, before he even, starts to talk about that, I'll say, reward is not necessary. How did you know of the witch, the bitch? Because he's already known before we got there. I'm a bit confused.
He will continue. He will look put out by the interruption, and he will say, "Grant this man." He'll point down towards Jurgen 1,000 gold pieces for his aid,
Woo.
and grant this priest of Thorm his order the heartfelt thanks of the Silpasha of Calimport. Now be gone from my sight.
Good luck spending those thanks, bitch.
Oh shit!
He will fattily try get onto one knee and then onto his full height and kind of amble back up the stairs towards the throne. At this point, the Seneschal will kind of float down the steps, beckon to one of the guards, and the guards will come up and get the glaive.
As they're leaving, can I take a really big inhaled sniff of the room to get a kind of, who the fuck is evil in here? Because
What range does it have?
Believe it's 60 foot.
I've got your character up. What's it called?
Divine
Okay,
sense.
Divine sense, yeah, 60 foot.
Bloody hell, you've got
So
a lot of
you're
spells.
easily within 60 foot of the Seneschal, the Vizier, and the Sulpasha.
Yeah.
And none of them are evil. You're also in sniffing sense of, say, the 8 guards that brought you here, and again, none of them are evil.
Are
One
they
or
smelling
two
particularly
guards
shiny, or are they just because it's either or?
or good.
Yeah. It's either or nothing, basically.
You get the. It's nothing. Some of the guards are good. There's nobody evil, and you just get the impression of being around in this life and your previous one, people like this before, that they're just bound by law one way or another, no matter how cruel sometimes those laws are. But there's nobody evil here. Maybe if you had more time to speak with Doc, you might be able to figure out how the Vizier knew these things. But there was
Yes.
definitely magic afoot here.
I'm getting that impression.
Well, anything more fun than a heist? Prison breakout.
Precision break.
You know,
The,
I'm going to be driven by getting you guys out because of our connection. So yeah, prison break.
I was going to ask if we just make new characters.
Yeah, we're just we are just locked in there for life.
Yeah.
When we get back to the
Yeah.
modern era, we'll come out and meet with like fucking
Yeah.
Dr.
You're about
Abstus.
halfway down the hall.
Yeah.
You're about halfway down the hall when, Jurgen and Warden Endeavor are halfway down the hall when you can hear the patter of the Vizier's footsteps behind you. Just a moment, gentlemen.
Yes,
I
good
am
sir.
under the impression that you have the heart of this creature, and that it still remains. What is your intention of it? Do you think it would be safer in our hands?
Gav, before you continue, I actually think they're in the possession of the heart because they've just put the 2 people in the dungeon who are carrying it. I believe
No,
Jed has it.
it was in
It's
the
in the black.
it's in the
box,
chests, which
isn't it?
is out with all your other shit in the courtyard.
Oh, Roger. Yes. Okay. Then yeah, continue.
Wasn't the chest hides its contents as well, so they wouldn't know it's
Yeah.
in there?
Yes,
Yeah, by magical means. Cool.
but like somebody just transmitted that information straight to
Yeah.
this dude's head.
Yeah, he knows it.
I told him that we
Not
had it.
where it
but
was,
Not
but
where it was. Yeah.
you saw the picture of it being, or the picture he had in his mind was like it being staked, and you holding it, and blah blah blah. He didn't see it going into the chest, or maybe he saw it go into a box, but then he lost track of it.
I'm just gonna turn and say, what would you know of the heart and of higher vampires?
Not much, but destroying dangerous magical artifacts. Well, I am, if I do say so myself, quite a skilled wizard. These things, if I do not know now, I might know in a year. If you have a better solution, something safer to make sure this creature never returns, I will gladly leave it in your possession.
I'm not admitting to either of the things of having it in my possession, but I will say I believe this belongs with my order. It must be researched.
Your order is weak in these parts, I'm given to believe.
No. That may be so, but it is strong in the north.
Is this where you intend to travel?
This I do not know yet.
He will produce a card from in his voluminous sleeves and hand it over to you, Artright. Should anything ill toward happen to this heart, should any miscreant be sniffing around, so to speak, You will have whatever aid I can give you. And he'll just have like there's a kind of a passphrase or something on a card.
Can I insight check that to make sure he's
just
being
send a
truthful?
runner to the palace with this, and I shall know. Yeah. To be fair, I'm going to give him a deception. Actually, no, he's not trying to be deceitful.
21.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get the idea that he's a capable wizard who is propping up this, I don't want to say regime, but way of life, government. He's keeping order in this area, and he's not evil.
He's Varys from Game of Thrones.
The power behind the throne. Could be.
I grab him by the balls. No.
You're assuming he has balls.
Exactly.
Could
I
be a
need to know.
eunuch.
I need to know.
Well, he's not fat.
Yeah, fair.
I'll thank
Roll
him.
the test. Yeah.
He'll bow and back away, turn and disappear off into one of the side rooms.
I suppose I'll grab Jurgen by the shoulder and we'll wander out.
Yeah.
Jurgen
Maybe
again.
comfort a little bit.
Jurgen will be interrupted at some point by a servant with a small, simple chest, and in it will be 10 slabs of gold, equaling 1,000 gold pieces.
That's some night in a whorehouse.
Yeah. As a party week. Okay. Thank you. Let's go put this in our thingy then. Let's leave those lot rotting in the dungeon. Let's go have a party. Oh, we need to.
And 3 weeks later, when they sober up, they start to come up with a plan.
Where are those guys? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure, they were here last night.
I guess we'll collect all the things and head back to
Yeah.
Doc's abode.
So Rudy and Doc have been taken down into a single cell. It's dank. It's dark. There is a small window, a very shallow window of about 6 inches tall, about 3 feet wide, with iron bars going across it. And it seems to be overlooking the coast. You can hear the birds, you can smell the sea. Oh, hang on. Silpash's place was in the middle, wasn't it? Oh, okay. So even though you're down in the dark and depths from the inside, outside you seem to be still quite high up. The southern end of the palace, the walls kind of step down and they go into more private gardens, and your window seems to be 70 feet up in the air, looking down over the coast of Callanport and then the ships coming and going.
Yep. Have I stayed in this particular cell before?
No, you've never been arrested.
Okay.
Somehow.
Not by the Silpasha anyway.
You've probably gone into a few sticky situations with other guilds in the past, especially in your youth. But you're a professional. You have other people that get arrested for you.
Yeah. No, sure. When I get arrested, it's by other professionals.
Yeah, or kings.
Yeah.
Not just the common shit.
Regardless, can I see any particular Thieves Guild kind of livery or anything around the cell that I'm in? Can I have a little
Sorry,
look around?
something I should have stated earlier, that things have been removed from you.
Okay.
So any
yes, to have
weapons, any books, any rings, any necklaces, and I'm
That was my ring
probably
of swimming.
going to say that's about it.
Yeah.
Armor as well.
Yeah.
You'll the sergeant that did this will have them put in a sack. You'll see this sack being stitched and it clanking until it goes into some room down the corridor.
I'll cast Tiny Hut, so it's nice and comfortable and dry. Sit inside my tiny hut.
Lyman's tiny hut.
Yeah.
Problem is that's opaque and they can see you casting mine. But yeah,
Am I allowed in?
Yeah. Come on in.
Okay. No.
Yeah, it's just for 8 hours, so protect us against rats while it's still or whatever.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Also, yeah.
It got much worse.
I feel like you boys are nice and comfy for the next thing.
Yeah. So
okay, now just because you're in the situation now, Jed, and you don't have a spell book, the spells you have currently learned
Yeah,
are the ones you're now stuck with
for the time being.
for the time being.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'll allow you to change cantrips because they're so well known to you, but you probably just have them all,
Well,
don't you?
My cantrips, yeah, all the cantrips I know I have prepped. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's by the virtue of the, yes, all the ones I know. Alright, fine. Until I get my spellbook back. Well, a spellbook back at least.
well,
Yeah, fine.
The question is, now that we've left or whatever, and we go back to our place,
Yeah,
is
so
it?
you guys take your cart. The Pasha's with you.
Yeah. Oh,
You
he's
bid
with us.
farewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bid farewell, and you probably overhear him talking with the Seneschal, and the Seneschal order him to come to a meeting at another point. And you will, he will thank you, and he will vow to do everything in his on your behalf to get your friends out from the misjustice that the Silpasha has placed them under.
I'd say we deserve it.
And he'll
Yeah.
he'll part ways with you.
We will see you shortly.
He'll bow and thanks.
Your lordship.
Okay.
Good man, Jurgen, and he'll pat you on the shoulder. And then kind of
yes.
wipe his hand somewhere.
So me and Jurgen will skip happily down the street, arm in arm. Now that we've lost that dead weight, let's carry on with our next adventure.
Yeah, we've got this chest. I've got 1,000 gold pieces here. We've got this chest full of fucking magical loot in gold. Let's go
So-
hire a pirate crew.
Oh, we've already done that adventure.
Nah.
Right. On that note, in all seriousness, so I'm gonna, as we're walking, I assume, kind of 2 options, don't we? We've got to get them out. We can do it forcefully or diplomatically.
Yeah.
We need to. If it's diplomatically, we need to find a reason for them to be released.
I'm going to say that Vic knows a couple of the people through my Thieves Guild contacts, but not many. In fact, rather specifically.
I'd say because he's your right hand man in terms of protection.
Yeah.
I'd say he knows at least the faces.
Yeah.
Of,
So yeah.
a lot of your people.
Yeah.
And then your specialists.
Yeah.
He might not know because maybe you deal with them specifically.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, you mentioned about the Thieves Guild markings or anything like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you can probably see that there's like a particular few scratches in like Thieves' Cant on certain pillars and certain wings of this establishments that indicate you're kind of in what's called like there's the marking that was used by travelers for years and years in these parts of the world. That was like 2 lines, just 2 lines across in parallel, and that was to denote somewhere was not friendly.
Yeah.
And you, the wing you are being locked up on has those 2 marks on it. You can see down the far corridor just before you were locked in. There's the mark of another guild, an enemy of yours, ostensibly. And then back the way you came, there was also another wing with a different group on it. So you're in the kind of loner section.
Yeah.
As far as you know, you have nobody in these dungeons at this time.
Yeah.
And you're locked in here with a bunch of randoms and 2 other groups of possible enemies.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good prison brawl.
Yeah. Get Daredevil Series 2 on this, yeah.
Yeah. Red 2.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so you guys head back to the Red House, Red Lantern House.
Yep.
You stash what you need to stash and hide away your things wherever Jurgen thinks best in the house. He's not privy to all of the good hiding places, but I'm sure he's got his own one or two. And you have time to talk and come up with a plan, if that's what you're going to do. And the same with you guys. You've been left alone. You can hear the howls and screams and shouts of people being tortured in the dungeon, or just hollering at each other, threatening each other. The place is not rammed. It's not a full-on prison. These are all kind of political prisoners, maybe. So
Yeah.
this isn't just the average scum. They
Yeah.
might be part of a thieves' guild, but they've obviously acted directly against the Sil Pasha or other Pashas. And the Sil Pasha has taken it into his power to take these here, opposed to the prison out in the desert that you're aware of.
So the question is, young Jurgen, do we have any more business here? This heart we have, I know Jurgen's probably not the best person to be talking tactics to in our quest for adventure, but I'm still gonna. This heart we have here needs to be studied for us to further our endeavors, and we need the book that was in the doc's possession.
No, it's in the box.
Oh, it's in the box as well. Sorry.
Yeah, you have the
Cool.
book.
Sorry. I'm a little bit confused with what was in the box.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we fuck 'em. No.
As only man, I guess you'd have better knowledge on that than me, sir.
We need to get this to the priests of Tor. This needs to be
But
taken.
first things first, we need to get the boss out of the fucking clink.
I'm in agreement with that, Arcade.
Well, you are a priest of Trom.
I am indeed a priest of Tor, yes.
Well, we got to figure out how.
I can read the book, but
But would you really want to be reading that sort of?
well, maybe there'll be something in the book about the heart, how to destroy a heart of evil. Probably not.
Maybe. But I don't imagine the boss and the little man will last too long in those dungeons.
If I'd heard you say that, I'd Nico.
You
Nice
misjudged
one.
those two. I think they
Like
can
to
last
cast
a long time.
prestidigitation to make the sound of a harmonica.
Yeah. Kick my
And I'm
glove
just
through
going to
the
wiggle my
goalpost of
hands in a
life.
way that,
Yeah.
If we really go marching north to drop this heart off at your priests people, how long's that going to take? You never know when we'll be back. Dangerous
don't
things
think
happen
we'd
on the
ever-
road.
Oh,
I don't
Gav,
think we'd ever return, Vic. Jurgen.
on that subject, would they have left me an instrument?
Yeah, they did. They didn't take your
Oh.
drum away from you.
Beautiful.
Assuming
Oh.
it's not a fucking massive brass band drum
Yeah.
you'd strap across your chest.
So you can
but
enjoy
If
the
it's a little
instrument.
bongo strapped to your belt, then they would have left
Yeah.
it. Like, who gives a shit? Like,
I seem to remember. I don't appear to have my instruments. I did have. Apparently, you get. Oh yeah, here we go. You get
Quite
3
sure.
instruments as a bard.
I thought you had to choose one.
No, tools.
I might be wrong.
3 musical instruments of your choice. So I also have bagpipes and a flute. So
Okay, well,
I guess I'll
let's face
just.
it, they're
I'll
gonna
just.
take the
I'd
bagpipes
just
off
keep.
you because
Yeah, I'd have the flute.
because they don't know
on me, how
what they
about that?
are.
Would
They
you
look
murder
weird
you?
and magical, and
No
if they
bagpipes
heard
in
them,
prison.
they'd probably kill you.
Yeah,
So,
let's.
but in fact, the flute, I think they'd happily let you keep.
Okay, cool. I'll play the fucking music from The Great Escape.
Yeah. I think we need to just get them out by any means. I think our business is done here. I may be speaking out of turn, and the others might disagree, but
No, that sounds fine to me. As long as we are getting them out. And
Well, okay. What have we got, Jed? We've got Charm Person. I have Charm Person enhance ability. We have Knock, which will unlock things, but, well,
I don't have knock prepared.
I have Knock. I have Knock.
Yeah, cool.
but that's going to attract a lot of attention.
Well, it is, but
I got heat metal, tiny hut. So I have spells. I also have pretty good performance, persuasion, and deception skills.
Yeah.
My stealth's not bad. So we can probably unlock the door.
I mean,
You've
if
also
I...
got that little window as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, okay, yeah.
Can't you just heat the metal off until it melts?
I could heat metal, but
doesn't
isn't it
heat
6-inch
quite that
window?
much.
Hmm.
Did you say it was
No,
like
it's 6 inches, or it's a bit high. Or sorry, we'll say it's 8 inches, and it's about 3 foot long across
okay?
the back of this vaulted arched
So
cell.
a slender elf could get through there.
So a slender elf could get through there, or stuff could be passed in or out, provided it was smaller than the gap between the bars, or something was done about the bars. You're
Yeah.
not sure of the area on the outside, on what situation that is, whether it's it's you perceive it to be high up, but because of the depth and thickness of the walls, you can't get an angle down to see exactly if there's if it's a parapet, or if it's got a floor like 20 feet under it or 70 feet under it. You don't know.
Like,
There's
can I
cliff
get
on
lifted
side.
up to have a look, or no?
No, it's just the
Yeah,
angle
yeah.
of the wall is like
Oh yeah, okay.
2 meters thick, so you're looking out at like a 10-degree incline down, so you're not seeing anything under it. You just seeing the spire or the
Well,
masts of the
you
boats
have
and the piers.
clairvoyance,
I do have clairvoyance.
suggestion, skywrite, which you could write a big message in the sky. Come get us out of jail. Maybe not. Tensor's floating disc, though. That
How
could be
long is
very
it gonna
handy.
take to get these guys out of prison? Roughly, would I be able to go and start getting that glaive made into a fucking weapon with some of that gold making?
I mean, you can take as long as you want. Like,
Yeah.
take a couple of years if you like, but I'd rather you didn't.
The,
Save that for later.
the ritual spells that I've got.
Well,
prepped,
you
I
have
guess I would
sending.
need- Yeah, sure. The ritual spells I've got prepped, I would need my spellbook for. So things like Tensor's floating disc, things
Oh,
like
Roger.
Oh, right.
How do I tell if they're ritual?
You should have
So
an
Oh
asterisk
yeah,
or
as
something
ritual.
beside it.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
yeah. It's just as ritual.
Okay, I'm going to take a leak and get a drink. Come up
Okay.
with plans. Try to keep the conversation separate though between the two groups.
Yeah.
Get back into two.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely.
So yeah, I mean, sending
think-
seems like the obvious things to do, doesn't it? If I,
Yeah.
I've
You-
got a spell that I can send a message to with these guys.
I know we're keeping it separate, but your guys' spells sound like opportunist things.
Yeah.
As in, you take an opportunity to be able to escape using the things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
feed you food or something. Whereas I think maybe me and Jurgen can have a discussion about rallying some of the doc's dudes.
Well, what we could go to a different channel. No, there's no point.
Oh man,
But-
that could be really funny.
Well,
We're coming up
Vic,
with different
yeah.
ideas.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
do that. Give me
okay.
2
Do that.
seconds.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I-
yeah.
I will say one thing, Vic. There is a guy that is on my Thieves Guild doc called William the Naysayer. Billy No, and he is the man who knows people. He's a bit of a fixer. He's a little halfling guy, very
Vic would
friendly.
definitely
Tends
know
to
him.
be good at. Yeah, so you will know him because I go through him a lot if I need to be introduced to someone. So when I wanted to meet the apothecary the other day, for example, I went to him and said, "Look, can you set me up with this person?" And so you will definitely know him. And if you want to meet people, he's the one that's going to come to your mind. Let's switch to another channel. Get
If
going.
you're
Okay.
going to use a message to send us something, make sure
Yeah.
you do it at the end if you want to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, otherwise I'll send you something in the chat that just says you get
Yeah.
you get a message in the post that says this, or not in the post, but magically in your ear.
Yeah, in the
Okay,
brain.
that's going to be quite funny.
Okay, right. Super secret
Have
game room.
Going.
Okay, he's not here. Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what I can do. I can heat metal.
Yeah.
Potential. What's it say? Object to glow red hot. So yeah, I could certainly melt the bars. I think, or we could bash them out of there with a rock or whatever if I make them
Weaken
red
them at
hot.
least, yeah. So I'm
you
wondering
can't-
whether
How high do you say it was? Was it out of reach, basically?
how high for the bars?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could get to it. I'm sure that's what he said is that we could get to it. I mean, especially if
Yeah.
one of us boosts the other.
Yeah. So we can certainly get out of the window. We can't do the floating disc. We can send them a message to come and fetch us, but that's inside of the palace. So we could mage hand
We are in the palace.
30
We
feet.
can, yeah,
Okay, we
yeah. Whether my mage hand is strong enough to actually like actively yank at.
You don't have silence, do you?
I don't have silence. Silence would be really good.
Yeah, because you could silence and I could knock. Just
Yeah.
unlock the door silently. What
Absolutely.
else have I got? Detect all
I'm wondering whether Gav will let me have my thieves' tools on me. Well, I don't know if I own a set of thieves' tools. I'm proficient in them, but I don't actually know if I own a set.
Yeah, let's say on your features and traits.
On my I'm proficient in thieves' tools, but it's actually whether I have thieves' tools in my inventory. I'm wondering whether he'll
I
let me get
feel
a
like
sleight of hand check to try and stash them.
yeah.
Whether he'll make one of these guys make an investigation check.
Okay, so yeah, we've got thieves. If we have the thieves' tools, we can unlock the cell, and then we could charm guards, or
Potentially, yeah,
potentially
that's then the
recruit
thing
the
to do.
guys from the other thieves factions.
Yeah, I like both of those ideas, to be honest, because all right, yeah, I mean, charm the guards seems like the clear thing to do. I think recruiting the guys of the other factions and just turning them loose.
Yes.
But if we hit one of them with a suggestion, and the
Yes.
suggestion is you want to open all of the cells,
Yeah.
that's enough. To be honest, I think I can pretty reliably do that. Especially because I have a 2 in my portent sitting here.
Also,
He's
I have
he
I do have I could just put on a performance to get the guards to come in. Like, oh my god, the elf's having a heart attack.
He's so old.
Yeah. How about that? I'll put on a performance, get the guards in, and then you hit them with
Yeah.
a suggestion. And if there's more than one, I could also try and charm person on the other one.
Yeah.
Assuming there's 2.
Thing to do, I think.
And then get them to unlock the other cells.
Yeah, if Gav's not going to hit us with charm person is going to be more reliable, I think, than suggestion. But suggestion, if I can give them a really specific course of action, like open all of the cells.
Yeah, so you can't ask it to do an obviously harmful act. So
Yeah,
something like that would be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, open all the cells and then go and they'd probably get killed by the.
Then go home.
Business.
Open. You want to open all the cells and then go home.
Yeah, we probably have like we're gonna have a bit of a prison riot.
I think so. That's a good way to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's a matter of just
finding our possessions,
getting out of the fucking building. Yeah, because the window's a bad idea because we'll lose our gear, which I've only just got all that shit.
Really nice gear, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll make a fuss, get the guards in. You can hit one with a suggestion.
Yeah, that's probably the best course of action. I mean, I'm wondering if I can kind of do that through the door when it goes past.
Yeah. I'll just make a ruckus like God, I've got fucking crotch rot and I need some cream or whatever, and then he could come in and we could suggest to him. Okay, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, I have to be able to see him for portent to work and for both of those things.
So that depends on if we have a window in the cell.
Well, either a grate at the door,
rather,
or we can lure him in. Then see if you can lure him in with a persuasion check.
We'll ask about the door, and then obviously we need to send to those guys to let us know. Wait, unseen servant, simple tasks.
Do I have that one prepared?
You do.
Unseen servant prepared? I do have unseen servant prepared. That's pretty good.
Fetch things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, lighting powders, pouring on wine. I don't know.
It only hangs around for an hour.
That's fine.
I
That's long
don't
enough
know
to
if
do some
Gav is going to be
mischief.
strict on my material components because I I could get a bit
It
of
can.
string
It,
and
it
wood.
says he can fetch things,
Yeah,
and I feel like he is going to make us use material components for that kind of spell.
yeah. So that's fine. So but I can get a bit of string and a bit of wood.
Well, that's an option if the initial plan doesn't go out. We could. Yeah.
Well, should I get the unseen? I can whisper through the grate because I've got a 60-foot range on that. And just tell the unseen servant to go and get my possessions because we know at least where they were put roughly, and then we'll try and lure the guard in. We'll
It
cast
says you
suggestion
mentally
on him.
command it. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
so,
it.
Cool. All right, let's get here. Drop back in.
Okay. Yeah, ready.
A sheet that Vic would have known about, who was like
Billy
a
know?
halfling. Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fix it.
Okay. All right.
You're just gonna go to him and find out if he knows anyone that's been in or knows that prison well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jurgen, you know this guy hangs around. He hangs around a tavern called Kiana's, and it's he kind of that's his throne room as such. He has a little raised kind of band area where he sits with his mates, like a little mezzanine thing where he drinks, and he's got a load of other halfling and other creatures working with him. He's kind of an independent contractor, mostly like yourselves, and he's done quite a bit of work for Doc in the past.
Mm.
Doc usually uses him for intel gathering, watching, sometimes passing messages, but mostly it's just kind of gathering of information. People don't tend
Introductions.
to know the little people, or they tend to. The big folk tend to ignore the little people. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Let's get him to find out where the where
Okay,
they are.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go around to Kiana's later that evening, where you expect to find him, and Billy No is there. He's got like a pencil mustache and a beret on, black beret, and he wears this really tightly buttoned up khaki shirt. And he kind of eyes you. He sees you coming. He's wary of the priest of Torm by your side. You can see it all coming across his face. It's like, why the fuck is Jurgen been let off the leash? Where's Doc? Some of the men, the folk, I should say, around the table that he's at, kind of just slowly kind of turn and shift and get more interested in the card games going on left and right. And Jurgen, you sit down across from him, and Archright, if you like, you can sit beside him. There's a seat there, and this little creature, no more than probably 3.5 feet tall, seems to be sitting on some sort of booster seat equivalent at this table. But at the same time, you just get the look that this cunt would stab you. He just looks fucking. The last thing you'd want to do is crack a short joke around this guy. He leans across the table and he takes this tiny little tumbler of like spirits, sips it, and says, "Who let the dogs out? Where's Doc, Jurgen? Ain't seen you free range in many a year."
All right, Billy. Oh. Oh. Oh my God.
That's Mr. William to you.
All right, little Bill.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
He'll lean back and stretch out his shoulders, making himself as big as possible.
Look, the boss is in some deep trouble. The Shield Pasha has him in the cells, under in the dungeon underneath the fuck's sake,
Alice.
palace. That's it. Don't mind the priest. He's slowly coming round to what needs to be done.
What exactly
need-
needs to be done?
Information
That
on the cells,
can do.
prison, the dungeons, where they may be holding the boss. Anything that can be helpful.
I'm going to
Yeah.
lean in and, being fully aware of the fact that this guy is suspicious of a holy man who believes in law and order being in his presence, and I'm going to say it's imperative that the dock is freed.
It was a
Our holy,
persuasion roll.
our holy quest cannot continue without him,
Who?
and Rudy as well. That guy. That is a 15.
Imperative, you say.
Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry, it's a 12.
Well, you're lucky I like money so much. Because now I'm in the driving seat. This is going to cost you. And he points his slender, tiny little child finger at Jurgen.
And while he does that, I reach around and grab the maul from the back of my fucking shoulder, and level it next to his head and body, where
That's
it'd be like,
definitely an intimidation.
Yeah, give us an intimate. Do you say anything with it or just?
no, just the action.
Not given to social finesse is Ferric Jurgen.
True. Intimidation roll.
Hey, that's
17
a lot.
plus what? See,
22.
you like
+5.
as fucking quick as lightning bring this fucking hyper dense meteoric alloy fucking maul across and stop it an inch from the left side of his head as his fingers pointed towards you, and you can just see his fingers starting to shake. And he goes, I'll get you what I can. You'll have it in the next few days.
Good.
You give the boss my regards if you see him again.
I will. I don't want to turn you into a pancake, so make sure it's good.
It'll be good. And he turns around, barks at one of his men. He's taking his anger out on the people around him. It's like, give me another drink. It's, yeah, I'll send it around to the Red House.
Good. Right, good, oh bye. We're gonna go done. I can't get my voices right.
So
Yes.
you walk out of there.
As
feeling
we're
happy enough
leaving,
that will. Yeah, go on.
I'm going to lean into Jurgen and go, you hang with some very strange people.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's he doing for you?
Finding out where you
don't
are
worry
in
about
this
it.
house.
Ah,
Don't
okay,
worry
okay,
about
okay, okay. That's fine.
Okay, so what did you get, Jed? Rudy, what did you? Or sorry, Doc Rudy, what did you guys say?
We have a cunning plan.
And
So-
I thought only Jurgen came up with them.
Yeah, probably. So I can put on a performance, get a guard to come to the cell, and then we can. Does our cell have a grate in the door, like a viewpoint?
No, what the cell is, it's two walls either side, to the
Yeah.
left and right. A wall at the back with this aforementioned window, arched ceiling, like a vaulted chamber.
Yeah.
And at the front, it's all bars
Oh, okay, that's much better.
with the door in it. The door obviously is
Yeah.
unlocked. The lock isn't too sophisticated.
Yeah.
But it's prison quality, I suppose. And,
Okay. So that was
they're
one
heavy.
question.
And they're also built that, because we're in this world, they're built so like elves and little halflings can't be nipping out. So
Yeah.
there's barely a gap of 6 inches between these bars.
That's fine. So also, next question was
It's kind of grid almost, yeah.
how proficient would Doc be at hiding his thieves' tools?
Up his butt.
Have
Are
I
they
ever
in
had
the
an
prison
opportunity
wallet?
to secrete those around on myself? While those
No,
being
I'm
said.
gonna say that would be incredibly difficult.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
But you can make a roll, and if you get
Oh yeah, you were.
like, if you get a 25, you've got them on you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
you-
I
because
don't have
some
any
of- some
bonus on
thieves'
sleight of
tools
hand,
are like-
so
Some thieves' tools are like little tiny lockpicks,
Yeah,
but some are crowbars. So
that's
you know,
fair. That'd
whole
be
package
that'd be a
is
bit
probably-
uncomfortable.
say the least. And he ain't that big of a
I
man.
Okay, no
don't
thieves'
have
tools. That's
enough
fine.
bonus on my sleight of hand to hide lockpicks on me. Then.
Cool.
Unless
Right.
you roll
So
a 20.
No, it's fine. No, I can lose them. Our
The-
plan works.
the plan was, so we use suggestion on a guard, and simply inform him to open all of the cells and leave.
Okay, so
That Gex is
You
going to lure a guard with a performance
Yes.
check.
so
Um,
you spend
but we were
um,
also planning on sending this information to the boys.
well, why don't you do the sending first?
That's
Because
fine. So
that
I'll
would make
yeah.
more sense.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get into the night. We'll have what am I trying to say? Sorry. Yeah. We'll wait until it's dark, and I will sit and cross my legs and cast sending, and send a message to Jurgen saying, "Get a cart ready. Get a cart ready." And a cloak near the. Do I know of a point near the edge of the city that would be good to no, not near the edge of the city, near the edge of the palace, or do I have a sense of where this is in the city?
Why don't you say you just want those type of northern sausages again?
Yeah, sure. That's the Sword Coast sausages. Yeah, what was the name of that pub? That was the
So the
Uh,
the ugly
slapping
duckling.
cat. Oh,
yeah,
there
it
you
was
go.
called something like
Whatever
that.
it was, yeah.
It was the swimming duck or something like that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good plan. So we'll prepare to meet there in the barrel room beneath the slippery duck, the slippery swan. Something like that it's
Southern
called.
duck is what I can
Southern duck.
barely make out in my writing.
Yeah, fine.
That sounds fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's quite near to the palace.
Yes, that is why we chose it as a rendezvous point for the heist.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what I would like to send. So I'll cast sending with that. I'll scratch that off my sheet. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, so that night with them, is there any other details?
I was gonna say that I'm gonna like call out and
Like-
make
Not for the
No, I
message
mean
being
from the
sent.
sending.
oh,
No,
So
basically
no reference towards when.
get a cart ready to leave the city, and cloak that he should do it. Well, it's implied to be soon, I think, but I'm not going to mention it because I'm very smart.
Okay.
I was gonna say yeah, well I'll like yell out to the guards like, oh, he's dying, and then I'll like use minor illusion on Jed to sort of make him look like he's covered in blood or something like that when the guards come. So they
Okay, so
open the
hang on
gate.
a sec. Yeah. So Jurgen, at about 10 that night, Archright, what would you have done? Would you stay in one of the bunk rooms in the Red Lantern, or would you have gone back to the inn? As you and Jurgen have kind of finished discussing your evening's
Yep.
works.
Just kind of stay at the docks, I think.
You can stay at my
I
house.
think that'd be best.
Okay. Okay, so Jurgen, at about 10 in the evening, that message comes through. What is it exactly, Jed? Get a cart, grab
get
a cloak.
cart ready to leave the city. Get a cloak and meet me in the Southern Dock.
Yeah, you're right then. Yeah.
Suppose it's
sir.
implied that we're meant to do that immediately.
Should be doing that and getting all the goods together that we need to go. All right. Sarah says sent me a message. We need to get a cart and shit ready, and any goods and shit that we might need on this leaving this town. Because by the looks of it, we won't be coming back.
It's Chinese whispers.
I think you're right.
The boss said to get a
I'm-
curtain shite.
I'm taking it for employment, you know. I know the
Employment.
yeah, employment. I know the boss, and I know what he means.
And he.
Can we maybe get some other people to come and help watch?
Yeah.
Maybe
we need
men
to-
of yours so that we can see them?
I know a few faces, and yeah, we'll have to have a few of them, few beggars, I think, start near the palace, watching out.
Instruct them to make the sounds of a dying giraffe should they see the guys.
All right, they know the rules.
Okay, so the cries come from the cell.
Oh!
Cloak, Custis, they're all in play. The beggars are out and about. Billy No is still scouring and gathering plans for sewers and cellars and palace plans from hundreds of years hence when the palace was built, but he's off doing his own thing. The guard runs up, short sword half drawn, and he grabs one bar of the cell, looking in, as Doc is vomiting blood on himself, violently ill.
Quick, you've got to gotta come in here. Take him out to a doctor.
Doctor's not gonna fucking save that.
I will
Give us
directly
a.
at him. Yeah, sure, yeah.
No, I don't know why I went in Scottish there, but
Fine,
like,
yeah. Well,
give us a persuasion. Give us a persuasion, Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
15.
Okay, he'll start. He'll
Sorry,
slam
16.
he'll slam the short sword back into the hilt to his scabbard, and he'll start fumbling keys, and he'll be counting through this large ring of maybe 25 similar-looking keys.
Oh, Christ.
He will eventually identify one somehow, and he will start fumbling around with the lock.
Dead?
Come on, quickly, boy. And in fact, and I'm going to open my eyes and look directly at him, and cast suggestion, and say, in fact, why don't you open all the cells?
Wisdom save of 17.
And then when he tries to make a wisdom save, I'm going to use a portent die because this is important. So he rolls a 2.
Okay,
His
he
wisdom save.
fails. He
He'd better.
fails his.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, he does.
Open the cells and leave.
On per save is the
fuck
best
it.
of it can do it from entire duration. Entire duration is
8 hours.
oh.
As long as
So
I'm
he-
concentrating on it.
Yeah, so okay, so he opens your cell and kind of blankly just turns and zombie like just goes to the next cell.
I'm like,
And
thank
you
you,
can
my
hear
good
the-
man.
You can hear the grumblings of a sleeping body in the next cell over. Maybe turn over in its sleep as the door opens. And the next, and the next, and the next.
And then the next thing I would like to do for the minute is cast Unseen Servant. And instruct the Unseen Servant that it conjures to fetch my things.
Okay, your things are locked away. They're in another room that has been locked at the base of the stairs at the entrance to near a guard's room. So
Yep.
basically, you come down the stairs into the dungeons. On your right, there's a guard's room. In the front, there's some sort of storage room. That's where your stuff is. And on the left is a corridor. The corridor goes all the way down. It got 5 cells either side of it before it turns off again. You don't see in servant.
Oh, hang on. No, I won't do that because it can only go 60 feet away from me, and that's not.
No, you're within 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, great.
But I mean, it can't get through the door.
Just stands there
So
blankly.
it will convey this information to you.
Sure. Okay. In which case, we've got to go up and take a look at the door.
Yes,
And do you reckon there's another guard inside there?
most likely. Night shift probably wants sleeping.
Give us a stealth check.
A stealth check. Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
Cool.
+4.
I've more than
wow.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can hear a card game or something along those lines. A bit of banter going on from the guards' room. Nobody seems to be asleep yet. And it's deathly silent into the left at the base of the stairs where the stuff is. You have the presence of the unseen servant there hovering at the base of the stairs. You can still hear the clink, clink, clink of the gun of all the doors in the guard going around slowly, methodically, opening all the doors. As of yet, and because of the time of night it is, there doesn't seem to be a huge reaction from the actual prisoners.
Check something quite specific.
Let's see if we can get to our stuff first, and then we'll be like, "Boys, we've rescued you," and just start a riot.
Yeah, so we can hear people playing cards inside the guards' room there.
Yeah,
That's
and to your ears, it's give us a perception check.
perception check I can do.
You can do it as well, Rudy.
Did I roll? Yeah, +7.
Plus
okay.
something.
Yeah, it's grand. Yeah, so Rudy, there's like 5 guys in here. One is telling the rest of them to shut the fuck up. The others are a little bit drunk and playing cards. So you think that
drunk, eh?
one is trying to sleep and the others are kind of just having a laugh and playing cards and are being loud enough. Yeah. So
How
5
many
in
is
total,
that?
you think?
5 in total.
And 1 doing the rounds.
I can hit all 5 of them with a single charm person.
You've got 5th level.
They're
Yeah.
also behind a locked door with no window in it. Just
Oh, okay. Well, let's just
They're
fucking
not locked door, but like
let's sneak past and get our shit.
When you say sneak past.
there's no need to sneak past. They're in a separate room.
Oh, fuck them then. Let's go get our stuff.
Yeah, okay, sure. Sorry, they're in a lock room. Sorry, I thought that they were in
So,
the room where the
right,
where the
That's
kit,
the
where
guard
kit was.
room.
Yeah.
That's the kit room. And that's the stairs leading up to another level.
Aha.
That corridor comes down, and then you've got like 5 cells either side. And then it goes off into who knows where. Other cells, other corridors.
All right, let's get the kit.
So that is the guard room.
Yeah.
And they're arguing, playing cards, whatever. And then your evidence room as such is there.
Yeah. Okay.
The
well then, yeah.
They're not
Sorry.
grated doors. They're wooden iron clad doors.
Locked.
So the lock will need to be... Oh, yes.
Shit. We should have told him to open this door.
Mm-hmm. We'll just open all
Somebody
the
should-
doors. Yeah.
Cast lock.
I guess knock, but it's very loud.
Wait for the riot.
Okay. I think we rally the prisoners.
Just gonna glass of water. I will be listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering what to do with the prisoners. Whether this is another trick for an illusion or
Wait, you have... Did you say you have... What is it? The mood thing.
calm emotions.
Yeah.
No, I don't have calm emotions.
Okay, fuck that then.
I can charm them all with one hit.
I think you hide in... Oh, no, you can't hide. Can you conceal yourself?
Hide a little bit. Do I have invisibility prepped? No.
No, you chose some shit spell stuff prepped.
Yeah, well, I wasn't planning on being thrown in prison.
Because what I'm going to do is basically be like, lads, the great Rudy Achaka has come to rescue you. And then just rally all the prisoners to come out. And I was thinking you maybe hide to the side because some of them might be rivals of yours.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Can I find a dark spot to sit for a bit, Gav? Maybe I'll go and sit in my cell. If the cell
With
is
bars on the front.
over here, right?
No, the cells are down this corridor.
So my cell is down
You're
here.
there. That's your cell, so yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I will go there and just
So all these cells on that corridor are now open.
Yeah.
And the guy is off screen, down the ways.
Yeah.
And there's a T junction that he's opening cells on. Again,
Yeah.
not a huge amount. It's like 10 at night. And, people get up here when the sun rises and they go to sleep when the sun sets. So this is kind of late at night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a couple of questions, and the longer it goes on, there'll be people going, what? And there's obviously people will be waking up. But there's no like, let's go.
Riot!
These are political prisoners. These may not think they have an option.
Okay,
I will
I'm going to
savage street thugs.
I'm going to go up to the guard and I'm going to use charm person.
On the guard
On
that's
the guard
Guard
you've
with the
already
key- with the
charmed.
key. Well, his suggestion.
Okay.
So Jed's
Oh,
given
yeah,
him an instruction, but it's specific. So I'm going to charm him. Wisdom save of 15.
Okay, so you walk down that corridor, only to see a T junction. Either side, there's another 5 cells, another 5 cells, another 5 cells, and probably 15 cells on the back wall. And then you will also notice that up the edge of the table, there's another corridor.
Right.
If that makes sense. You're in
Yeah,
some
I
sort
get
of
you.
grid thing, yeah. Would you look at that?
Shit.
He looks kind of. Let me just have a look at charm. That was charm person, yeah.
Yes. If it fails, blah 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 blah. If it fails, it's charmed.
If he fails his save, he's charmed.
Yeah.
But I think he's still compelled on my suggestion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's just going to ignore you, like glassy-eyed, ignore you, and he's just going to keep going on, opening doors.
Well, that was that plan.
And now that you're on this corridor, you can see there are people. Like, you can see lots of sets of knuckles of various size and color, gripping bars. Even some of them maybe armed outstretched out, testing the door. And there's people looking out. There's lots of people looking like they might have been here for years. A lot of Callum Port folk. Probably a lot of foreigners. A lot of people that look like they've just been beaten down and like, fucking Auschwitz looking like, just like decrepit looking people halfway through their life.
Okay, now is the time to rally the prisoners? Or do we wait till he's finished unlocking the cells, Jed?
He goes up that corridor there. That's kind of going.
Yeah,
back
we can
that way.
do that now. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if anyone that you think is worth opening the door for.
We've told him to just open all the cells, so he's opening all the cells.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna stroll down the corridor, and can I speak without the other guards hearing?
Yes, the other guards are busy.
I'll be like, "Okay, boys, I am the great bard Rudy Achaka, and I have this guard under my thrall, and I have managed to get him to open all your cells. Tonight we make our escape and find our freedom."
Give us a persuasion check.
Okay. It's 18.
Yeah, loads of them start to come out of their cells. Some of them are disheveled, some of them aren't. You're happy when you see like a half orc or two, or maybe a few elves still in scrawny enough, but still in good health, kind of come out into the corridor. They kind of half crouched, half sneaky, looking left and right up and down the corridor. Some of them at the far end can see the guard, just glassy-eyed, going through open cells. They seem to be enheartened. That might not be a word, but enheartened by all this, and they start to slowly creep towards the corner where your or Doc's character is, like that corridor, and they start looking towards the way out.
I would.
Master Dwarf.
Well, that guard has the keys. Unfortunately, we need to get the keys off him. So, how do we subdue him quietly? Can I grapple? Try and choke him out? I don't really have good strength. I don't have good strength.
let me take care of that, says one of the half orcs.
I'll be like,
Oh,
yes,
grapple him.
yes, good man. You see if you can
I'm
do
an
it.
orc.
See if you can do it without killing him, because we don't want to raise too much ruckus. Why did my accent change? If we kill the guards, we may end up in trouble. Oh, I'm sorry. If we kill the guards, it's going to raise more of a fuss, and they're going to try and find us even harder. They might bring out the army. So let's try and knock him out and maybe shove him in a cell and lock him in.
All right.
Cool.
You'll see he'll kind of wave to one of his other guys. And let me see if I can find this. I probably can't.
Just roll to see if they accidentally pull his head off.
No, it's there's something about this orc. There's some scarification on both of his arms that you think is familiar.
Huh.
You don't quite know what it is.
Huh.
It brings images back of the maw, the darkness down there, and then the bright lights and the blood and the stink of the sand and the sweat of the patrons and the booze and the screaming for blood. You don't know what it is, but there's something about that scratches on his arm, those scars that were put there probably by some orc shaman or something. You don't know.
Almost a Grumsh.
He and his friend will go forth, and with advantage they will fuck it up. There's a struggle on between the guards and the two orcs. The two orcs are clearly overpowering him. The keys are grabbed from the guards' hands and are skidded down the corridor. There's a noise up that other corridor. Now, this is happening up 100 feet away from that guard's room. But it's now loud.
Yeah.
The keys slide, clink at your boots. You pick them up.
All right, boys. I think the orcs have got that fella handled, but I think the other guards are on their way. There's 5 of them in that room. We can take them. We have the numbers, and I am a warrior of some renown myself. So,
okay, you've got this. Like I was saying, you've got this ring of keys, maybe 20 or so in size or in number, and you shuffle back up, passing Jed's or Doc in his cell. And you go in and give us a luck roll, 1 in 20.
All right.
You need to roll a 7. The closer you are to 7, the quicker you get to the number. No plus, no minus.
4.
Okay, cool. So you try 1 key, 2 key, 3 key. Click. This evidence room as such opens up.
Excellent.
In it, there's loads of. It's mostly scrolls. It's not physical evidence.
Yeah.
There's a couple of satchels of odds and ends, bags of weapons and things like that. But the bag that was thrown on top of the rest of the kind of rattan sacks that were there is your stuff.
Okay. I'll grab my stuff. Chuck the Doc his stuff, and I will say to the prisoners, "Quick, lads, arm yourselves."
Okay, so there'll be a queue of guys at that door. At this stage, it's going to get loud. I'm just going to give the guards in the room a perception check, and they're not going to hear anything for the first turn.
I'll quietly pass them down like a fucking bucket chain, passing weapons down the line.
Oh, okay. So weapons are going out from this room into people's hands. A turn passes, 2 turns passes.
I would also like to just grab up a handful of the evidence and just put it in my bag, just for curiosity's sake.
Okay.
Just for
make a note of that because
you want some reading material.
Exactly.
Okay, from up the stairs you can see. Now this is into the white marbled area of the palace. Up the stairs is, and there's a flicker of light up there from torches or candles of some sort, but there's no noise. You're getting more and more acutely aware of the noise made by these prisoners as weapons and odds and ends are being passed out from this evidence room. Turn 3 is another perception check, and they fail. And now most of these people are armed with something. It might only be a stick or a broken leg of a chair, but or a sword or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of people. And then a clamor kind of goes up that even you can hear from this stage of 2 orcs and people shouting the name of Grumsh and fucking beating on a human from around the ways. And maybe at this point you just hear from the room, and then a chair slide back across stone.
Okay. Well, Doc, I think we have to fight our way out of here. Unless you got a better idea. Hello?
I've never. Yeah, have I muted
Sorry.
myself? No, I'm good.
No,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah. I've never been one to stop a fight, but I've never been one to stop others fighting for me either. And I
You hear
will.
footsteps coming
Yeah,
towards the door.
if I can cast. Are the orcs nearby us here?
No.
No. Okay. Where did they get to? Sorry, I've missed.
The
They
orcs
were
are up a
around-
corridor going up that way.
They've been and been and
And
gone.
there's another
Okay.
corridor. No. They're still up there kicking the shit out of somebody. Up here.
Okay.
Excellent.
And it's this door this door.
That
here
door
that's
is going to open next round.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no sweat. In which case, I think we just run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Leg it.
I think that's what I'll do. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Orcish. That's fine.
I think I
You
do.
do, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Helga didn't have a great time with orcs.
No. So she learned it.
Right. Roll initiative.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
Uh,
Plus 10. 21.
plus nothing. 9. Yeah, I think we're just running.
Yep. Wait, that way?
Which way was the stairs? Was the stairs this
Yeah,
way?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll just run for the
Yeah,
stairs.
lay up the
Okay,
stairs.
unfortunately, the guards have rolled a 21.
Okay.
Rudy rolled a 20, and Doc rolled a 10.
Okay.
So the door opens, guards scream, draw weapons, shout, and start to move. They move out into the corridor. The 20 or so able-bodied warriors around behind you, down where the white hand is, down this direction, raise a war cry. They push in, they clamber past you, and some of them move in to attack the guards.
Cool.
Good.
The guards don't really have an attack this round. Next round, it starts up again with the guards. The guards waylay down with weapons. You being in the position you were in are going to get struck first. There will be 1 strike on Rudy.
Yep.
Which I think will hit. You've no armor on you now. It's in a bag.
I haven't
so
looked at it yet.
that's going to be like a 23.
Sure.
And then another one into Rudy, which will be what was it, 19? It's 11. Jesus, that might even hit you. Oh, sorry, not Rudy. That was Doc. 11.
Oh,
okay.
11 will hit me, yeah. Unless I can... Do I have shield prepped? I do not have shield prepped, so 11 will hit me, yeah.
Okay, so short swords. Rudy, you'll take 5. Sorry, 6, and Doc, you'll take 7.
Okay.
While not exactly dangerous, this will mark you as being recently struck by guards. And then it comes into your turn.
Am I in the middle of all of this?
Yes.
Shit. Will I take an attack opportunity from all 5 guards if I move away?
You can take a disengage action.
Yeah, but I want to cast a spell.
Oh, okay.
In that case, you'll take an attack of opportunity from possibly 3 guards that are outside. There's more guards inside still.
I'll take it and move back here. Just a bit away.
2 of them will swing at you.
Okay.
2 of them will hit.
Cool. My AC is 15, so that is right.
8 and 8.
Cool.
16 points of short sword damage.
Okay. I am going to cast because we've gone loud. I'm going to cast 4th level Shatter right in the middle of the fray at all the guards, if I can do it without hitting Jed.
What's the range on Shatter? 10
The
feet? 20?
radius is 10.
You could probably, your best bet is to probably cast it on the door. You
Okay.
reckon? The
Yeah.
door is metal shod, you know, so it's got these big
Yeah.
wrought iron
I
hinges and
I don't care
clasps.
about the prisoners. I just want to not hit Jed.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So, is there a save? There is a con save of 15, and it's going to do a lot. Well, 5d8. It's going to do 25 damage.
Okay, only one of the guards makes the save.
Okay. So,
So
he takes
the door
12.
explodes. There's blood and piss and fucking bits of metal and leather shattered all over the guard room, down the corridor, killing a few prisoners, a couple of guards. Devastation is done.
That's my turn. I would
I know.
also
It changes from a war cry to a scream of panic.
like to run.
Well, you've already taken
Yeah. Next
your
turn,
action
next
and
turn,
your
I will
cast.
run.
Yeah. Okay, so Doc.
So these guys in here then are, should we say, distract?
Most of them are dead.
Most of them are dead. Yeah, neat. Okay, cool.
There's one guard probably pulling like a 2x4 out of his shoulder.
Yeah,
4
fine.
guards are dead.
Yeah, sweet. I'm going to also run, and I'll just take a dash action and just run this way.
The fuck
Okay,
out
you
of
can
there.
take your dudes off the board now.
Okay.
I think we're now going to be hunted through this territory.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, having memorized your way down into this area, you can
Yeah.
navigate your way back up into the main throne room. Sprinting, clamor behind you, the faint clamors of stuff in front of you and around you, and the echoes bouncing down the corridors are coming from all different directions. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where they are. After 30 seconds or so, after making it up 3 flights of stairs, you find yourselves in the darkness of those atrium wings of the grand hall room. You can hear movement from the other side of and in fact from your right. I'm going to need stealth rolls to navigate your way through this large, darkened space without being seen.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything cool
Mine
I can do
is
to help with that.
15.
Bear with me. I'm happy to do that, but can I use, if I can cast a detect thoughts, I can use that as a kind of radar to see where people are, that even before I see them.
Yeah, but it's only within 30 feet, isn't it? Or is it 60 feet?
That is a range.
And the throne room is very large.
It's a range
But
of
yeah.
60 feet for.
Yeah,
detect.
okay, you can cast it and I'll give you advantage on your stealth check.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'm not as good at stealth as I'd like to be. It's 12 plus 4, 16.
Yeah, okay, so the large pillars either side of the corridor prove to be perfect width for hiding behind as guards, and like noise and clamor is like just rushing past either side of it. You can sense there the sentient minds moving around the room and rushing in particular directions, so you can judge your movements. You step between one, then another, and before you know it, you found yourself in this atrium with the gurgling fountain in the middle and all the flowers now casting darkness all around. You sneak your way through this section as guards circumvent the other side of the fountain, and before you know it, you're at the front door. However, as you are at the inside of the front door, you realize there's guards on the outside, and they are now turned, they're facing each other, they look worried, they're casting their eyes in. You can just you can see their silhouettes, but they can't see into the darkness. and they're standing the other side of that door.
Is the door
Um,
closed?
No.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Illusion?
that'd be crazy. Yeah, I suppose the door is closed, but in fact, they're open. They're currently opening it because.
They're opening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do
So
you
I'm going
want
to
to
say
try and charm
one
them,
of
Gex,
the
or
two
shall I?
big doors is open.
I can I only have one slot of that large, so you can try and charm them.
I'm
How
more
can
than happy
I?
to try and
How
charm
do
them.
I? Hold on. Enhance ability. Touch. Yeah, I'll touch Jed and give him the Eagle Splendor. Is it Eagle Splendor? Wait, no, it's not going to help with enhance ability.
It's not going to help with. It's not going to help with the charm person. So I'm going to
Okay.
clap my hands and give them a winning smile, and ask them both to make wisdom saves. So it's a second level charm person.
You're targeting them both with that spell.
Yeah, to try and hit them both. Yeah, that's
I
right.
could have done that. Sorry, I thought
What's
there were more.
the?
It was just two guys,
What's
wasn't
your
it?
target number?
17 for a wisdom save.
Oof. Yeah. Okay, that is better for you to do it. Shit.
Oh, okay, that guy made it. Fine. Yeah.
One passes, one looks confused. You dash out.
Yeah, great. Yeah. I will mention the horde of orcs as I'm passing them. There's a horde of orcs loose in the cells, lads. You might want to see to it.
Have
One
they
guy,
s- Sorry.
one guy pushes past you to get in before you even get out.
Yeah.
The other guy crosses his spear in front of you to try block your way. One
Okay.
guy's now out of the equation, but the other guy is stopping you. Halt! In the name of the Silpasha! And he's moving. He's not moving, but he's like, he has his spear crossed in front of your chest. Like, he's right on you. And he's going to impede your movement this turn unless
Yeah.
some other action is taken. And we kind of flip to a new round. I'm going to roll initiative again.
Yeah.
We can discount the other things in the initiative. So, Rudy, you're up, then Doc, then the guards, then the one guard. Looking out at the garden, all you can see is that dim grey night above like a heavily starred clear sky. You are aware of movement in the gardens. There's obviously guards on walls and guards around the area, but the gardens are intricate and large enough. Obviously, this is now the focal point for them all, but the guards are, there's ways through.
I'd like to use a minor illusion and create the sound of an orc going from behind a nearby pillar, and just say, the orcs are crazy. They broke everyone out of the cells, and they said they were going to kill the Silpasha. You have to stop them.
Is there a save against minor illusion?
He can get an investigation check to see if he thinks it's real or not.
He needs to spend a turn to examine that, though,
he
doesn't
would
he?
need to, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I guess
so I'm
a
going to roll an
persuasion check, I
investigation
think,
check
yeah.
to see what happens next turn. But for this turn, he's going to try hold you back physically. And what the DC is, Gex?
More than that.
Your spellcasting level? Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's going to do it. Okay, so he's going to fail. Yeah, because he's only got a +1 or 2 on investigation. But okay, so he's going to physically try stop Doc from moving. So he's going to make. Well, it's Doc goes first. So Doc, if you want to run past him, he'll get an attack of opportunity. If you want to do something else, whatever,
Can I attempt to disengage and move past him?
You can.
Yeah, I will make a disengage action and move past the guy.
Okay. So you dash out into the scene I set before. It's like you stay low. There's the shrubs and flowers and plants and fountains and things out here. And you can see the familiar wall dead ahead. Off to your right-hand side, you can see the squat ziggurat-style tower of the monks of the Golden Line. Off to the left are various other villas and mansions that are incorporated into this palace kind of structure. And then you've got like 2 acres of land in front of you. I've met these manicured gardens, and then this 30-odd foot wall. That is, you remember, sloped on the inside, and it is probably possible to climb.
Yeah.
And if your memory serves, the Silky Swan, the whatever swan, should be about a kilometer off to your
Southern
front
Duck.
right somewhere.
Mm.
So you dash out. Rudy, again, this guy's in your way.
Oh, was it his turn yet?
Well, his turn will be to move into the door to obscure, or no, sorry. Now he'll fail his investigation check, and he will move past Rudy into the. Oh, sorry, you said from another pillar.
Yeah.
So another.
pillar,
Did you mean
bit
another
off.
pillar in the room behind you?
Yeah, like nearer the cells, like.
Okay, so he's gonna
Further
push
away.
past Rudy into the atrium, and he'll be out of your way.
Okay,
Then-
then
okay,
I will
then it's your go.
fucking pelt it. Do we have to go over the wall? Or is there some kind
Okay,
of...
well, you get out into the courtyard. You look around, you see much the same as Doc. You'll notice 3 or 4 entrances into this area. They're all, they're not quite like castle entrances, but they'd be big, large, like 30-foot double door, like 30-foot tall double doors, big enough for processions of nobles and what to come in on. The climb, you know, because you were the one that saw the inside of the walls close up, isn't too bad,
Hmm.
but the doors look more guarded, more occupied.
Very well. We climb.
Yeah, I think we get over the wall. Yeah, I think that's the thing
Okay,
to
so
do.
you guys, you'll be a couple of turns sprinting. I'm going to need stealth rolls again because
Yep.
when you get out into this courtyard, it's quite brightly lit with the stars above. There's no torches here, but it's not easy.
I imagine it's been a minute. I don't have my detect thoughts up anymore, so that's fine. I will.
22.
In fact, at this stage, they'd be too far away from you.
Yeah, that's fine. But just a stealth roll. +4 again. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say there's groups of 2 guards. We'll give them a roll each. We'll give them perceptions of +2.
Fuck.
Jesus, competent guards.
Yeah?
Doom of every D&D
I mean,
party.
it's the
2
fucking
19s.
king of the country.
So the guards from left and right, you'll hear shouts. You'll be about halfway through the garden when you start to hear these shouts. And from left and right, you'll see guards moving in. You'll even hear the whistle of an arrow going past your head. And you'll get to the base of the walls as these guys are about 100 feet from you, arrows clattering down around you.
Yeah.
The walls themselves, as I said before, are slightly slanted. They go up to a little balustrade, I don't know what the word is, like mezzanine level, and then there's battlements, and then jump over onto the street.
Atrium?
Acrobatics
Atrium
or
was-
athletics for climbing, by the way.
For climbing, I believe it's athletics.
Okay.
If you're a monster of acrobatics, I will allow that. But I think climbing
I
is
was
mostly
going to give Jed a little strength of the lion or whatever it's called.
I
to give
will
advantage.
need that because my strength is bad.
Bears.
each foot. Hang on, let me read this out just so we have it. Each foot of movement costs 1 extra foot, so 2 feet per foot in difficult terrain when you're
Yep.
climbing, swimming, or crawling. You ignore this extra cost if you have a climbing speed, and you can use it to climb, or a swimming speed if you use it to swim. At a DM's option, climbing a slippery vertical surface with one or few handholds requires a successful strength check.
Oh, okay. Otherwise,
Athletics.
it's just
Similarly, gaining any distance in rough water might also require an athletics check. So you can get up this wall with a dash and a thing and a movement and a dash in 1 turn, but in order to do it better, a successful athletics check will be taken. However, if you risk an athletics check, you can fail an athletics check, and then you can fall.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to use my dash to go through it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get to the base of the wall. Arrows clatter around you. You spend your 1 turn getting to the top of the wall. During that turn, 2 arrows plus 2 on these rolls is 16. No armor. I think that'll hit you.
Yeah, that'll hit me. Yeah.
Is going to hit you for a D8 plus 2. 8.
Okay.
And similarly with Rudy, are you going to risk a climb?
Yeah.
Give us a climb roll then.
Oh, sure.
Are we aware of this yet?
That's not good. It's 10.
You don't fall, but you don't gain the benefit. So
Yeah.
it still takes you the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you in a sec, Sam. 1 hit for 7 points of damage.
Okay.
So you only really become aware of this as your cart is down the street at the junction, left a bit. It's not quite where you expected them to come out. And you'll only really become aware of it as they mount the walls and now next turn jump down from them. They'll land and start running. There's shouts and clamours coming up from the palace. And as you get to the junction, you'll look to your left, you'll see the cart, Jurgen and Archroyd and Doc and Rudy will be fucking pumping their legs trying to catch up
Yeah.
to the cart.
It's fine. Dwarves are natural sprinters.
Right, you are.
Good over long distance.
No, not good over long distance now.
Okay.
So you're essentially out of it now. You get down the corridor or you get down the street. Either jump up into the cart or disappear into the shadows. The guards from the palace are, 45 seconds behind you, but by that stage, and knowing the city as well as like Doc does, who can help guide you, you've all but disappeared. The cart can be, left in the Slippery Swan. People can be diving down alleys. All the beggars that you employed to get eyes on the situation and ears on the grounds have like dissolved into the shadows and disappeared back up the crummy alleyways of this area of town. And you feel 10 minutes later anyway, as you're approaching the Red House, you feel that you're away free?
Sort of.
Maybe?
Almost scot-free, maybe. Yeah.
Almost
be.
scot-free, with the implication on there's just that curve of the smile of the vizier's face ingrained into Doc's head
Mhm.
as he turns the key in the red house door, and he realizes that even if we are free, we're only as free as this man's ability to catch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
And
it.
that's fine.
Amongst the high spires and the temples of the temple Saban, you just have your minions disappear the cart into the darkness.
Yep.
You rush into the Red House, you start to gather your belongings and frantically shout plans and instructions to each other. I'm going to take a leak.
I'm gonna make sure that
Plans when I get back, yeah?
Yeah, fine. Okay. Yep.
Question.
Yeah.
If we were riding along on a carriage and fucking Rudy cast that little fucking hut thing and you two got in there, would you still be moving along with us and would you be detectable by magic from someone else?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I believe we're undetectable in the hut.
As to whether it will move when placed on the thing. let me
Spells
have
and
a look
magical
in-
effects can't extend through the dome. It casts an immobile dome of force, so it's immobile.
Immobile. Okay. Yeah.
Shame. Because that would be, sneaky.
Just fucking riding in a fucking magical bubble on a cart. Mate.
Yeah.
We have to get out of this fucking country.
Yeah.
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 We take
Yes.
the west road?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The
take
Pasha's road, as opposed to taking the direct route over the desert?
Take Rulerman's road.
Pasha does both roads.
Here is in the
Both
D&D
roads are good
channel.
passes.
This is what I've spent the last hour doing.
Excellent.
It's Rudy.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's
The
handsome,
Pasha
handsome devil.
that we've worked for runs both roads.
Does he? I'm pretty sure his family
Yeah.
are in charge of the western road.
I think he runs both because
I don't recall.
he's supposed to maintain both of them. I believe.
I know his ancestor built the western road, and it was a great folly. That's why he's so down
Yeah.
his luck. Yeah, I think he will not be helping fucking jailbreaking
but-
murderers.
But if you two are hidden in the cart, the back of it or something, you know, the guards on the thingy may know me and Archright and let us through without any hassle whatsoever.
I think it's too much risk.
All right.
Oh,
so
you
when you
mean
hit the
leaving?
red house, what happens?
Getting out of the city, I mean, like, you know, you're only hiding for what, a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going.
we are fucking booking it.
Okay. So
I'd like to make sure a small portion of, so I've got underlings sort of thing in the that have met me there. I need to make sure that, so I've got to grab a particular document.
if you want to, I think, keep your regime intact, I'm assuming you have plans and letters already prepared.
Yeah, but I have to give
However-
a certain tithe as well to
Maybe other clans or other groupings.
well, no, just to make sure. Basically, I have to pay tribute to someone who's a little bit higher up in the guild.
Well,
and
you are the highest in your guild. You run your guild.
Well, I run a certain crew, but I'm effectively just like a freelancer.
Yeah.
kind of
So
like
there's other
freelancer.
guilds in the city, and they're all
Yeah.
vying for power.
Yeah,
And
so
you're
yeah,
in that group, but you're just not committed to one particular
yeah.
aspect of thieving, for want of a better word.
So
So you,
if-
you don't particularly run protection. You don't particularly run brothels or drugs or smuggling. You just do whatever's most profitable this month.
There's a man named Gulzar that I mentioned in the document that I sent you
Yeah.
before I set this up, and I want to make sure that 300 gold pieces that I have with me go to him, and I'm going to take that out of the money that I took from the vampires kind of horde.
Okay. Along with any particular instruction?
That it goes to him and that it's from me. And is for, you know, his cut of my last job.
Okay. You figure this will only buy you so much time. To extend that time, the words you write in the letter sent along with the cash will either have to be quite intimidating or persuasive.
Okay, well in that case, no, like, yeah,
No,
it's,
it'll
it's
buy you a few months. You know, you go
Yeah.
missing, people will inquire. They might take advantage in certain areas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
if you want to put a foot down, it'll require a roll of some sort.
Okay, sure. In which case,
Like a 300 will buy you probably 3 months of safety.
yeah. No, so what I'm yeah, what I'm I'm trying to think about what I need I hadn't considered this for some reason.
Well, it wasn't exactly planned.
Sure, I'm
Okay,
gonna
well
write,
you can hang on to it, Jed, and come back to me after you have had a time
yeah,
to
let me have a minute
think.
to think about it. Yeah, but I
Doc is
gonna make
smart
su-
enough to, you know,
Yeah.
have contingencies.
Yeah.
So you guys leave Callanport on the Yellow Road north.
Sorry, I just missed 10 seconds. After Doc is smarter than, what did he say?
Doesn't matter.
Smart enough.
It's,
Okay.
Doc is smart enough to have these
I-
plans,
Yeah, have a getaway plan.
you know, in
And
the
what-
backup.
Yeah.
What do you say about the yellow road?
So, the yellow road is the northern road to Memnon.
Yeah. We were thinking of taking the western road.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we go east toward Almraven?
Where? Oh yeah.
All the way over there. Okay, so east it is, along the Blue Road. The Blue Road by the sea is not as well kept and not as profitable.
Fine.
However, as you pass through the first gates and the checkpoints out of town on your cart late that night, it must be nearly 1 a.m., and you do get cast a good few suspicious eyes. But thankfully, some of those eyes are familiar, and some of them look at their feet in shame, having run from the cliffs and abandoning you in your fight.
Yeah. Cowardly bastards.
And with a gruff word or two from Rudy and a persuasive couple of flicks of a coin from Doc, you cast your way out into the western or the eastern deserts along that ramshackle road, barely better than the Green Road, out west towards Keltar.
They can wipe the stain off their honour by aiding and abetting fugitives and murderers.
Well, it's more like a man-to-man thing, as in they know that they let you down, and
Yeah.
irrelevant of what happens, they feel shameful. Especially as they met with you for the safety you provided on the journey back to Kellumport.
Aye.
So you make your way towards Keltar. Along this road of about 7 or 8 days, being at the pace of the cart you're on, pulled by 2 donkeys, dragging all of your belongings, and the 4 of you, it's going to take about a week. You have time in that. You have in that time enough to cast your eyes further over the Book of Unspeakable Cults,
Yeah.
and do whatever you will. This road is better patrolled and maintained by the Pasha Rulaman, and every 2 days along it, there will be an inn of some sorts, sometimes supported by a tiny village with a few small fishing boats and docks, or jetties, and as there'll be a small town, a large village at the port of the River Kelt that runs up past the desert in towards Keltar. The option does point itself towards naval passage along the coast, is quite popular, and what's the word? Economical? Not economical.
Cheap.
No, that's economical.
Expedient.
Expedient, yeah. So there's that option, but within the first few days, you have plenty of time to talk. Doc, you have no doubt that there are eyes being cast all over, searching and tweaking the little fragments and skeins of the weave, searching your whereabouts. You just have that every time you meditate at night. There's just that inkling that some of these aspects of the weave that you are learning and incorporating to your spells for that day have been twinged by a greater power, one coming from Kellumport.
Very firmly, I am keeping the book itself. While I'm not actively reading it, it's locked away in this.
In the
Can I
chest.
read it?
Yeah. No, you may not.
Okay.
Lucky.
But I will tell you what I read in it.
Okay, well, learned in a bit more depth, and I'm just going to read out a bunch of text here. So I can read it out again, Jed, but I might want to filter it. I don't want to paste it directly to you.
Okay.
But over the next couple of days, before you have the choice of going into Keltar by land or going out by the eastern coast, there's, in more detail, there's the spells Cause Fear, false life. Don't bother writing these down because half these are going to take more time to learn and more time to decipher, especially the higher
I
level
shouldn't write
ones.
these down, no.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
But I will
Right.
send you the list of spells. That's no problem. So there's cause fear, false life, animate dead, bestow curse,
Yeah.
feign death, speak with dead, summon undead, contagion, raise dead, create undead, magic jar, which is a gay name for a spell. It should be called phylactery.
Yeah.
Clone, astral projection, and true resurrection.
Wow.
This true resurrection and astral projection are 9th level spells. This book is, in your opinion, probably one of the most evil documents ever, or the most evil thoughts ever put on parchment on the face of this earth. With these spells alone, heaven knows what you could do. You could live forever. You could rule dominions of men for 1,000 years. It's truly diabolical. As I said earlier, the book details the various cults. There's the Order of 1,000 Nightmares. The Order haunted the fields of the dead, fighting each other while riding their nightmares into battle. The clergy of the Vel'Sharun mastered powerful magics, allowing them to control the sword wraiths, forming a quickly growing undead army that spelled trouble for the Western Heartlands.
We met some sword wraiths.
They numbered about 250 strong as of about 400 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The cult of the
Before more
Goat's
could befall
Head.
us.
The cult has long been active across Vasa, but came to prominence about 600 years ago. Members of the cult served as priests and trusted advisors to the Witch King's army and aided his conquests of Vasa. They raised armies of undead, and in one notable battle, a single priest of the Goat's Head, rumored to have been High Priest Banak, defeated a Nar raiding party and single-handedly raised enough undead to decimate the riders. After the end of this war, there was talk of the Banak allying himself with the Citadel of Assassins, whose leaders were likewise worshippers of Orcus. The end of this conflict boiled to a stalemate between Vasa and Damara. Banak himself was destroyed, but the power behind his unearthly dominion was never found out. The lords of Damara currently are keeping Vasa at bay, but this was documented to be about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And despite the weakening position of the cult of the Goat's Head, they continue to serve as priests among the evil inhabitants of Vasa. Their influence remains great, and they continue to recruit new cultists into the ranks despite Orcus's banishment. That catches your ear.
Yeah.
They also had, however, unbeknownst to the cult, the power of the, there was talk about Kiransali and her drow faithful followers from Veldarsar in the Underdark declared war on Vasar. And that war seemed to be happening as in the time that the book was written. So there's very little more about it. And that was in the year of the Unstrung Harp, which is, to your recollection, was approximately 670 years ago. And then, of course, as said before, the Night Parade, which was the Netherese Arcanists who emigrated from the Primaterial Plane to the demi-plane of nightmares. And over time, their descendants began to be born twisted by the magics of the realm into nightmarish creatures. The Night Parade that is known today has started to bleed back into the Primaterial Plane. They create gates on the plane, because their homeworld has become overpopulated. Gates have been opened all over Faerun, and these portals have, in one part, led to a cult or a cell growing in Calimport. These alien creatures began to establish nests where they would hide their grotesque features from the populace of the cities that they lived in. The Calimport cell and all of its subordinate nests were once led by somebody called Lord Six. Another one of his sorry, he used his powers of he used his powers of mass hypnosis to create illusions of bad storms over the whole city. Then selected several newborn babies and through a ritual turned them into nightmarish creatures. This went on unnoticed for at least 40 years until the hypnotic one was killed by somebody called Myreme Lal, L-H-A-L. That name's important. About 600 years ago. The citizens of Calimport realized that what was going on and rioted. Trained troops began then eliminating all others who stayed near the city. This was not the end of the night parade in Faerun, though, as Calimport was only one cell. They had members all over the continent. Lord Lal sent word to other cities warning them of the threat, and the Harpers investigated reports of sightings of night parade-like creatures, but weren't able to do much to end them. The last known sighting was in the Moonshae Isles.
Okay.
So that is the contents of that book. Lots of names and places and info. I can go over with you again and write up a synopsized document. If anyone wants to roll what they know about Vasa or Damara or any of the other countries way up north, we can do that.
History checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, history, I suppose, yeah. Because the information's traveled slow, anything there's going to be history.
Yeah.
28.
17.
Yeah, because you can have advantage on this being
You're
From the north. Makes
a
sense.
barge from the north. Your first roll was 12, so 17.
It's 21.
Okay, so everyone except our southern specialist, Jurgen, rolled pretty well. So Vasa is... Sorry, let me just take a bit of perspective on this.
Very law-friendly dice there.
Yeah. So, like I said, you can get a map and figure out where these are, but it doesn't really matter. They're thousands of miles away. And these are... The southern parts of these lands would be like Middle England. So, autumn would be bitterly cold. The north would be, in fact, even more northern than that. They're probably more like Scandinavia.
Yeah.
But they could get good summers. So, Damara is a country. It has a king. It's been ruled for generations by this king, although they've been beset by the evils coming from Vasa. As you can see, there's the Galena Mountains running from the south into the northwest, and the northern line of the Bloodstone Mountains running straight north.
Yep.
Delhalls and Talagbar are dwarven strongholds in Vasa, or in ancient times they were. So Rudy will know not plenty, but like some obscure tales about these type of places. And I can delve into that a bit deeper once I've done a bit more reading. Vasa itself was relatively empty and inhospitable land of kind of rolling hills, frozen wastes, open tundra, with a few sporadic farms. It's always cold, with the winters bringing proper deep freezes. And the summers, kind of, like I said before, bringing those frigid waters down from the Great Glacier. The lands begin to soak with that frozen clear water coming south, turning the whole tundra and area into mud. As a result, it's a pretty harsh environment. The Vasan people were known to be tough, close-knit community. A lot of what would the south, or the more educated areas of the world, would call barbarian tribes. They were also known to be quite a close-knit group folk who were unashamedly rely on everything and everyone in their community to survive. Coming from the deserts, as some of you have, you will realize the correlation there between the equivalent of the Kalimport desert folk, the Bedouin, or those type of peoples. Damara was a little different, while sharing very similar geographical features. It comprises of what are called the Bloodstone lands. It's bordered in the west and the northwest by the Galena Mountains, and to the due west by the Moonsea. To the east is the Giant Sparrow Mountains and Dunwood or Rollins Wood, and separating it from the Northfell. Its northern boundary stretches as far as the Great Glacier, and its southern goes all the way down to the Sidewinder Rivers, a collective term for the Sidewinder, the Lench, and then straight into Imboltur. So Imboltur is a fairly civilized area of the world, bordering Vesperin and Cormantir to the west. Vesperin, or Vas as sometimes it's called, is a collection of city-states. Galant, Tantris, Dragon Falls. Further to the south, there's 2 or 3 other cities that I've forgotten the name of. Tantris, like I said, is the seat of the pontiff of the religion of Torm, like the equivalent of the Pope, or, whatever, the head of the church, the Dalai Lama. Damara is run by a king, and so the area is ruled by dukes or earls or other such. And they alone have had a massive increase in the last X number of years, decades, due to the war between Damara and Vasa. Damara used to be incredibly rich, exporting hundreds of thousands worth of this Dragonstone gems from the various mines throughout the Galena Mountains. When Vasa came into being, it pushed Damara out, destroying the Bloodstone lands, dividing it into 2. Vasa pushed them back to Bloodstone Pass, which is where the Vasa army kind of now remain facing the Damara army. Damara has become a horribly overburdened place. It's nearly all of the humans from Vasa have been pushed to Damara. A lot of them are still fleeing south from Damara. There's not enough food. Shit's gone bad. It was, for want of a better word, a problem for a very far away people that you really hadn't turned your thoughts towards for a long, long time. The king currently resides in a place called Heliogabalus, which is this city here. And they're holding off for all months, or a better term, is like evil of the world. That's kind of what most of you know about it. Jurgen, to you, it's just, far away northerners, different problems. I don't understand why frozen water falls from the sky. It's that type of shit. It's alien. But for most of you who have traveled or have spent different lives in different areas of the world, you get this idea about it.
What about on a 28? Do I get anything extra special?
You might do. Because I haven't
Maybe
read,
links to Torm and
300
stuff.
pages of the next 3 chapters or campaigns. And I don't know how this fits in because I'm jumping the campaign forward a couple 100 years to now. I can't say for exactly. But remember, you roll that, and I'll give you something when I know a little more myself. You'll know the way there if you were planning on taking it, which we can, I suppose, get Faerun full. So, Kalimshan, where you are now is going up the river towards a place that is not marked on this map. So you're about there when
Yeah.
you gather all of this information. If you were to go, you'd go through along the coast up to this point here, which is the equivalent, I suppose, of the not Suez Canal, but Istanbul or Constantinople. You go up the sea to here. You would go land across to the Wilhelm Reach, north up to Minf. And that would take you all the way to your, I suppose, pilgrimage site, Archright, which is Tantris. And then by then, a boat could be taken to the Moonsea, north. And from the Moonsea, it would be overland or over the Glacier of the White Worm, past the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, high in the mountains of Earthwood, into Vals, or depending if you can catch boat, up to Trail's End or Heliogabalus.
I assume you are relaying what you've read, Jed, to everyone.
The about the cults and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most of the geographical / religious stuff, Archright will know.
Perhaps not about
s-
a major cult of Orcus. Have
Maybe-
you looked up there?
maybe not. But the Arcana-based stuff will come from obviously Doc. The hearsay and the stuff that I haven't produced about the dwarves yet will come from Rudy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not much comes from Vic or from Jurgen on
Yeah.
this one,
From
just
the
because
north,
of
innit?
the. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking fairies, fucking southern puffs. Yeah, so there's a bit of that. Vic, your character will know about the middle of. Let me draw a little fucking box here. So this is kind of, for want of a better word, the civilized world. Where we played our last campaign out on the Sword Coast is a bit kind of, I don't know, I don't quite want to say American, kind of 1800s, but you know, it's a bit rough and ready. There's towns helping each other, but it's really a bit rough and ready. And this area is nearly all colonized by humans. They might have different belief systems and whatnot. Thay, the red splotch over the right-hand side of the map, is full-on evil. It is ruled by evil wizards who enslave. There's necromancers. There's all sorts. That shit is pure evil. There's a little place just south of Cormyr, north of Cormyr. Where the fuck is it? Zentrum Keep? Am I in the wrong fucking...
Searching.
Why the hell is it not on this map?
Keep, you said?
Centering Keep, I thought was like there. Maybe this map is from a different... Also, I don't prescribe to the timeline of Forgotten Realms, which means it might have been wiped from the face of the earth when this map was produced. Okay, so there's some areas that are dodgy and evil, or there's areas that are like piratey and, you know, they're not country, but like Sambia, Dalelands, and Cormyr are civilization.
Yeah.
And then most Algorand is pretty much civilization. And these two countries here, Vesperin and Ilpatur, are civilization. So
Yellowy spots, kind of wildlands.
yeah, like Narfell up here, Rashaman is like Were Tiger country. Mulholland is a bit odd as well. It's similar to kind of Am or Tethir in that way. And then you get into the kind of other stranger areas. I know nothing about anything south of them.
No. Yeah.
But like, so a lot of the, anyway, so it's going from the extreme of Kalimsham, which was one of the founding countries of the entire planet, the earliest forms of human civilization, across a more modern era of place, like a more modern Europe, up to a
Chaos
maybe
waste.
a Chaos Waste to Scandinavia. Like a Damara is probably like a I can't remember the name of the words, but like it's that's not, it's human occupied area, and then Vasa is kind of chaos wastes. Just to give you a rough breakdown. on it.
Tamara, Kislev, Vasa, Chaos Waste.
Kislev, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah, so it's still human. They're still civilized. They're still not like, sacrificing people and eating people. It's mostly good.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to leave it there, guys. And obviously, mountains of information. I got to read up on a few scenarios in order to filter some of that. Rudy, I'll get back to you because you definitely know stuff about the two ancient dwarven halls of Del Halls and
Oh yeah.
Talagab, or whatever the fuck it's called. They were very ancient realms of dwarves that have fallen since. And again, the politics, I'll have to look up the timelines so I can give you decent introspectives on them. Obviously, that's just the cult of the goat's head.
Yeah.
So the other two are
The night parade.
some of them.
Yeah.
The Order of 1,000 Nightmares are in the Heartlands, and as far as I know, the Heartlands are like the Dalelands, aren't they?
Heartlands.
I don't know if they're because the Heartlands are, I think, a group of counties or a group of countries. I don't know if they're on this map, but I'm pretty sure. I thought the Heartlands were up in the Dalelands, which are a collection of different dales, like Icewind Dale, Shadow Dale, Harrow Dale. They're like collection of city-states with a load of fucking heroes defending them all. So they're fairly good areas. And I think the Heartlands are up there, and that's where the Order of 1,000 Nightmares would have been last seen. So not a million miles from the way you're going. And then the other thing with the night parade is they have people supposedly everywhere. So you would assume Waterdeep, Callanport, Cormyr, any of the larger cities around the world. Again, tons to take in. Not all of it's relevant. And I'll get back to you with a bit more detail on what is relevant.
I've decided what I want to do with notes with the guild in Callanport, Gav, which are, presumably I've got gold kind of stashed around in my red house, rather than taking out of my winnings.
Yeah, you had your starting cash.
Yeah, sure.
Which was
So I'm
significantly more than everyone else. So, like, if you want to spend that, you can.
I'm going to leave 300 gold to Gulzar, which is what I said, which is simply a note of your cut from my most recent job. As ever, my place within the organization is valued. I'm going to leave another 300 to Billy, with just a note that says keep the lights on while I'm out. To Billy No, to William the Naysayer.
Yeah.
And then the last 200 gold that I'm leaving is going to Johan on that document. And to Johan it says something about my future endeavors.
In town that you will return, or
yeah, I think so. Yeah, to kind of to intone that, but yeah, just
okay.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The just the thing of consider my sins past and future, something like that. Johan is a cleric, for better or worse.
Yeah, I'll have to read them again.
Yeah, so pardon?
I'll have to read your background again.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
But
yeah,
yes, I will.
But yeah, for those three groups of people, yeah. Don't think there's anything else that I need.
Nothing to the Pasha?
To be honest, we only just met him.
Fair.
To Rulerman, I don't feel like we owe anything. We squared our debt with him, and he's not that useful as a person.
Not anymore.
The Soul Pasha is a different matter.
He can get fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Well, like Rudy was running around his dungeon going, "Oh, the fucking awesome." I'm busting you cunts out of here.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
reflection, perhaps telling them I'm Rudy and I bring him.
exactly. I was thinking that when you were saying that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, Rudy, you ain't coming down south again.
yeah. Whatever. I was gonna say
Pretty good
I'd like to leave a note to the Pasha Rulerman apologising for the commotion, but I'm not going to bother.
No. That guy
Fuck,
let his
fuck
wife.
him. He's a loser as well. Yeah,
Yeah, he is. He is. He's a deadbeat.
yeah. Got
Okay, so we leave it there, yeah?
cooked by
ambition.
necromancy.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yes, thanks, Gav. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Table saved, exiting game.
Do, do,
So,
do, do, do.
Fairly kind of big shift in outcome, like I said, because of the adventures I found. They fit really well in with
Right.
what can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't go searching fucking.
I'm
orcs
gonna read all
It's
those
online.
books. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. They're a couple of 100 pages. You're definitely not.
No, I'd read that in a day. But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You.
Grand and good.
We will be assuming, as in GM pressure, that you'll be heading that direction. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
well,
should
that's
go.
I
the
mean,
closest
like-
thing we've got to.
I think we
it's the
should
closest thing we've
go
got to a lead.
back to Waterdeep.
Well, I mean, you still got the heart. Waterdeep
Yeah.
isn't a million. It's on the way, sort of. It's not on the way, but I mean, like, you can get to Waterdeep in 3 weeks.
No, I think we should. I say we
It's
go
going
to
to take you
Thay.
months to get to the other place.
Go
We're
to
already
Thay.
going on a route that will head towards someone much higher up who might know about the heart anyway.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Western Heartlands is.
Yeah, I couldn't find exactly where that was.
Okay, so Baldur's Gate is in the Heartlands. Heartlands, it's H-A-R-T, right? Like deer.
No.
Okay. Western Heartlands. Oh no, Heart with the thing, right? Okay. Western portion of Faerun stretches from the Sword Coast at Water's Edge to. So.
Cormyr. That might make sense. In fact, that could include Baldur's Gate.
Are we picking up it before we set off? We're not like just arriving there, right?
No. You're still on that coast down south.
Yeah, cool.
Because we were heading to Elmraven, at least in that direction.
You've been hot to go there for fucking ages, haven't you?
No, it's just that's where Jed said to go. So
Yeah.
we're at least heading in that direction.
No, I think it'll be interesting. Sounds good. Sounds like a cool
I
place.
just want to get that weapon to forged into something decent, that glaive.
Oh yeah.
I want to be able to stop somewhere for like a day or two or a week, however long.
Oh yeah, no. The journey to Tantarus is like
Thanks, I'll put a lobby up.
Okay.
6 months, or
Yeah, it's gonna take
you
a
know,
while.
a few months. The journey straight from Tantarus, even up north further to Damara, is more months. So you're talking like the guts of nearly a year traveling.
Yeah.
But like traveling up to Waterdeep from where you are by sea is a month, and then taking a route from Waterdeep all the way through the desert of Anarok and all the way through the other lands is probably the same time. So if you did want to go that way, that would be possible. So you have options if there's anywhere in the world you do want to hit up, or if there's any other roles of kind of gaining knowledge you want to figure out on any of the clues you've gotten so far, you can message me offline and we can come up with more detailed info that I don't have to pull out my ass on the fly. And we can discuss it and you guys can sort that out between yourselves.
I do want to send a letter to my wife, but not until we've settled on a new base of operations for a time.
That'll be a long time off.
Yeah.
You might want to send one before you leave, maybe, or
We get to
on the way.
Elmraven.
No?
Keep the bitch guessing. It's more like, oh, I want him to receive a reply. So it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah, but it'll take months for a letter to get from wherever you are to her, and then it'll take more months for a letter to get from wherever she is back to you.
But how
So
can it
it'll-
get to me if we don't have somewhere where?
Yeah, but you can say like, send a letter to this in this town, or send it to the Order of Torm in Tantris. I'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
Like I'll be there in a year's time or something. Or
Yeah.
if expediency was an issue.
If I don't get murdered by a dragon or something.
You might. Hope so.
So how much gold did we get from that fucking box then? Because I only added the 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that yet.
Oh, there's plenty of money in that, but for some reason, Doc has
Taking
Taken-
custodian.
he's custodian of the group's wealth on behalf of the group. I think is right.
Well, I'm the best person to, take care of it. I'm a legitimate businessman.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
But yeah, Jurgen, that's more money than you've ever seen in one go. Like when you get a loan for a car or something, and bank gives you like $6,000 in cash because you want to negotiate with the car dealer. That's what it's like. It's like that's 10 years' wages for a soldier.
You
And
need
that's all
double the
yours.
enemy's gen, by the way.
That luckstone is really fucking good.
Double the amount we have.
Oh yeah. Might put a magnifier on. Okay. If I stop recording.